Hi, this is Andy Scott with North Shore Apartments and Condos. I'm walking into 918 Washington, number 2A. This is a nice 2-bedroom, 1.5 bath apartment. When you walk in, right directly in front of the door is the kitchen into the dining area. If we turn to our left, we see the beginning of the living room. If we turn to our right, we have a nice entry closet, which is about 3 feet across and maybe a couple of feet deep. So, good to have an entry closet. We'll come back and look at the kitchen in a little bit, but first let's walk into the living room. The first thing you notice is the new laminated floors. So it's like a laminated wood floor. This is a big living room. It's probably 17 or 18 feet long from me to the window and 12.5 or 13 feet wide. The air conditioner is a little older. It's built into the wall. If for any reason that failed, it would be replaced. Big picture window that's facing north across the street of Washington. And I'm just going to follow down. That break there would lead to the half bath in both bedrooms. Oh, also the full bath. Whoops. So you can see sort of the size of it. And as I go to the right, you see the dining area that we saw from the front door. So the walls are in very good shape. This is a formed concrete building. It's one of the reasons my voice echoes. It is completely silent from your neighbors. I can't imagine them being interrupted. I'm going to walk through the living room and show you what it looks like from the outside. You see the driveway in front of the building. Washington is a one-way street going east. It is very quiet. At the end, 2 blocks east of here, it intersects with Chicago and basically comes to a dead end. Okay, there we see a sliver of the kitchen and the dining area, which is quite large. Before I show you that, I'm going to just turn around and show you the size of the living room. And again, we have that hallway down to the bedrooms and the baths. The dining area is probably, from the wall to the refrigerator, is probably 10 or 11 feet. And from this wall here to the window, whoops, sorry about that, is probably 8 or 9 feet, maybe 9 feet. It's a pretty big space. Easily get a 4-person table in there. Among other things, you can see there are outlets. This window is facing east. Really doesn't have much of a view, but again, you can see the driveway and Washington going east. From this building, we're about 2 blocks to both the Metra and the L stations. There's also coffee shops very close by, and groceries, other shopping. And we're about 3/4 of a mile to the lake. Now, we're just getting a glimpse if we go down the hallway into one of the bedrooms. So we will get there. Here is the kitchen. Kitchen has a dishwasher, stainless steel sink with a hose attachment. It also has a garbage disposal, which is relatively rare. Good closet space, although the cabinet space, although the cabinets are not new. On the other side, we see more cabinet space. The fridge is probably about 5 feet 8 inches high, maybe a little less. Electric stove, it's a full-size stove with an older stove hood. We'll start by looking at the fridge, which has a freezer on top and a couple of shelves to the right. Underneath, we have crisper drawers, a couple of shelves in the refrigerator area, as well as a butter dish. Nice and clean, that's the main thing. The counter space, which is pretty good, is a laminate rather than a rock. So it is a laminate. Again, we have cabinets up above and an older stove hood. The cabinets are a little less than 2 feet. I'd say they're probably more like 18 inches high with 2 shelves. Shelves are probably about 11 to 12 inches deep. We see an outlet there. And then underneath the counter, we have a couple of drawers that are pretty deep. Oh, there's our security right there. There are the keys. Drawers are probably 3 or 4 inches deep, so they're actually pretty big. And underneath the drawers are more cabinet space, and the cabinet underneath is a little deeper, so you can put pots and pans more easily. The stove, like I say, is not brand new, but it's full size, and it's nice and clean, but it is an electric stove rather than a gas stove. Inside you see the electric coil, but it's nice and clean and it's ready to use. The stovetop, I'm not sure what to say about that. That's quite a bit older. And most of the inners are gone, so we may ask to replace that. Up above, I'll show you the cabinets there. Same, 2 shelves, about 11 inches deep, I think, 11 or 12 inches deep, but probably only 12 to 15 inches high. There's the front door where we came in. There's the entry closet that we saw right off the bat. And across from the front door basically is a pantry sort of closet that you could keep food products or vacuum, use like a broom closet, pantry kind of thing. It's quite deep. So it's at least 2+ feet, maybe 30 inches deep by less than 2 feet wide. Nice cabinet. This one is a closet. Again, we have a little bit of counter space. Nice stainless steel sink. You see the hose attachment. Water pressure in this building is phenomenal. And you can see that it drains nicely. It does have a garbage disposal, and that's underneath here. And it's very unusual to have a garbage disposal, so that's a nice to have. Again, we have a drawer there and another cabinet. Whoops. There we go, with 2 shelves. Okay, underneath the sink, we have a dishwasher. It's a full-size dishwasher. See if I can open it. There we go. And there you see it's quite clean and ready to be used. So I'm going to step out again and show you good cabinet space, pretty good counter space, full-size dishwasher, stainless steel sink with sink attachment, or rather hose attachment, good water pressure, lots more storage, nice big fridge. Whoops, I didn't close that cabinet, and a full-size electric stove. There's the front door. I'm just going to close that cabinet. And then we'll swing around back into the dining area, which from the kitchen, it's really contiguous with the kitchen. Looks like that. You can see it's actually a pretty big dining area. Baseboard heat, which is like radiator heat. So there's metal pipe and metal foils around the pipe to distribute the heat. It's really quite efficient. So there's a central boiler system. Heat, water, and cooking gas are all included in the rent. We'll come down. This finally, the moment you've been looking for. Take one last look there. We're coming down the hall, and there is one of the bedrooms. There is the bigger bedroom, and here is the full bath. So I'll just give you a look. The tiles are a little newer. And when I say newer, I mean like circa 1960s instead of 1920s. And you have a tank toilet, some towel bars, lighting underneath the medicine cabinet mirror, big base underneath the sink. Again, we have good water pressure. Oops. There is the medicine cabinet. Water pressure again in this building is outstanding. And underneath, we have some room for some storage. nice and dry and ready to be used. Lots of tile, which is easy to keep it clean. The window opens easily, and that also is good to keep it clean. And there's a close-up on the baseboard heat, so the bathroom, the whole apartment stays quite warm. Okay, check the water pressure, which I know is good. So we just turned on the hot water, and you can see it's nice. I've got it facing the wall because we don't have a shower guard, and I don't want to get the whole bathroom wet. So I sort of sprayed the window a little bit, but good water pressure. The shower head's probably about 5 feet 9 inches high, so not totally high. And I'll back out. So in addition to the light over there, you have a light in the ceiling. Nice, lots of nice clean tiles, great water pressure, big storage under the sink, standard tank toilet, and newer floor tiles, newer as in 1960s. Next to the bath is a linen closet. Has 4 shelves. I think one is missing, so should have 5 shelves. This is probably 2 feet across by 2 feet deep. It's pretty square, maybe a little wider than it is deep, but certainly room for anything you need in relation to the bath. We look at the first bedroom, which is the smaller of the 2 bedrooms. This window is facing west. You see a newer air conditioning unit. It's big. You could easily get a queen-size bed and a workstation in here. Baseboard heat again. I don't know, probably about 11 by 12, something like that, which is a nice big room, fairly square. If we look out, we're looking out to that building on the west, but again, we see Washington to our right. If we turn around, we see the bedroom door, but we also see a nice big closet. Closet has a tile floor, which helps define the space a little bit, 2 feet wide by probably a little less than 6 feet across. Again, we have a shelf and a hanging bar. Nice big closet. From the closet, we take a look at the bedroom space. Again, you could easily get a queen-size bed and a workstation in here, which is nice. So we'll come out of the first bedroom, get a glimpse of the bath, look back into all the way through the dining area, and to our right is the second bedroom. This isn't quite as wide, but it's quite a bit longer. So we'll walk in. I'm going to close the bedroom because this bedroom has the powder room. So we have a fan, which will help keep it dry. Again, we have that same tile. Water pressure is very good in this building, so I'll just show you there. This faucet leaks a little bit, so we do need to clean that. Standard tank toilet, and I believe we have a medicine cabinet up here, and we do. 3 shelves, which is nice. And then from the bed, we can look out and see the size of the bedroom. This got to be 13 feet long by about 10 feet across. A nice big bedroom. You could finagle a king-size bed here, but a queen-size bed would fit more easily. Again, we have a nice window unit. I didn't open these blinds, but it's the same view as the other bedroom. We're looking west into the building. There's the driveway to the back of the building, which is where there's parking for this building. 1 parking spot is included in the rent, which is, my recollection is that it's very competitive rent. From the window looking back, we see the bath, or the powder room on the left, and a good sized walk-in closet. Now this doesn't have a light, but you can see it's probably close to 5 feet deep. Let's call it 4 feet deep and 4 feet across. It's really deeper than it is wide, so it's 4+ feet deep. But you have a hanging bar and a shelf on each side, so it's nice big space. And I think that comes out pretty well. even though it doesn't have a light fixture. One last look at the bedroom size, which is quite big. We'll walk past the powder room, look across to the bathroom, turn to the left to see the first bedroom, walk into the living room, which is a nice big room with the laminated floor. Look through to the dining area. We'll head toward the front door. See the entry closet. One last look at the kitchen. And we're back to the front door. Thanks for watching.